There is a new attraction that is coming into Hollywood Studios, and this is actually replacing Star Wars Launch Bay, and it's all about Walt Disney Animation.
This is really exciting. I didn't see this coming, really. And we have talked about how much that we think Star Wars Launch Bay is just so misplaced.
Doesn't make any sense.
Doesn't make any sense to have it there. I mean, at one point, like, it served its purpose, but now that Galaxy's Edge is open, like, okay, why is it here? So they're actually going to turn it back into what it kind of originally was, and that was like the animation building. It's an animation courtyard. It's going to be about animation. And this one is called The Magic of Disney Animation. And it's coming in 2026, so pretty quickly. Doesn't say when in 2026. I'm guessing toward the end of 2026.
I bet you they want this open by the summer.
So you think it's just like a year?
I think that's what they're aiming for, and it does mean that's when it's going to be done. But I think ideally they would want this ready by next summer.
Yeah. I mean, maybe. That'd be great. That'd be great to get it done quickly. But so basically, this is what they say on Disney Parks blog as what it's going to be. It says, our story in this newly imagined space begins as the animators have temporarily stepped away, but the building is still buzzing with activity as the characters have come to life and they're ready to play. Inside, you'll interact with and explore silly takes on the iconic Disney Animation headquarters, including the many different studio departments. Only this time, some of our favorite pals have taken over to create the fun adventures. You have portraits that come to life before your eyes, like in Once Upon a Studio short that was very popular. You'll even pencil in some time to learn how to draw your own character sketch, which is like animation experience vibes. There's also going to be a Drawn to Wonderland playground that'll be oversized flower garden with musical instruments, a Mad Tea Party playset, and exploration area. So there's a lot of that. And then there's going to be more, obviously, but like that's just kind of the basis of what they said. It's just going to be very, very interactive, very animated based, and great for kids. So
they're also bringing back the Sorcerer's Hat and putting that back there. And they also did say, I think there's going to be a new Disney Junior dance party type thing, like the show.
Yeah.
I think they're revamping that and more.
Again.
Right. And just more, I think they also said something about more character interactions or roaming characters, which I think that would be a great thing. I actually think this is great. I was actually very upset when they got rid of the animation part to begin with, because as a kid, I always liked that. I've always loved to draw. And now that like our daughter loves to draw, I think this is something that like she'll enjoy. I'll enjoy it. Kids in general will enjoy this. So it's kind of back to the roots a bit of what Hollywood Studios was. And I think it makes way more sense than Launch Bay, because Launch Bay made sense whenever it was there before Galaxy's Edge opened. It gave you a Star Wars presence in the parks, but Launch Bay's been, or Galaxy's Edge has been open for like, what, 7 years now?
Six
years
in August, yeah.
And it's still there. And then you also, I mean, I love Star Tours, but you've got Star Tours, you have Launch Bay, and then you have Galaxy's Edge.
Yeah.
And none of them are intertwined. So it always is kind of weird. I do hope perhaps this could mean some changes are coming to Galaxy's Edge, because this was the only place where you could actually meet Darth Vader and some of the characters. So perhaps, you know, they open up Galaxy's Edge to include all eras of Star Wars, prequel, original trilogy, and the sequel trilogy. Maybe even, I would love for them to get back to Jedi Academy that they had as well over by Star Tours.
Oh, the training.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why they haven't brought that back. But
yeah.
In terms of this alone, I think this is a good move.
Listen, they're going to add in more greenery, more trees, more like a park kind of inside Animation Courtyard. Because like right now when you walk in, it's just a big open space.
Yeah.
Lots of concrete. But they're going to actually add it in a little more greenery and stuff. Now, the show building for Disney Junior is going to stay like it is, I'm assuming. And they're going to add the Sorcerer's Hat. But also they're taking down the archway that says, I think it just says Hollywood Studios, doesn't it? Mm-hmm. Okay, so they're taking that down completely. And this is going to kind of emulate the Burbank Studios, the Walt Disney Studios. Takes inspiration from that back in California. So it's supposed to kind of look similar to that, which is kind of cool. It's kind of cool.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, I think this is something, it's a quick turnaround type thing. And I think the reason they're probably doing this is if you look at so far this summer, attendance has not been great. I know touring plans talked about, I think it's the lowest they've seen this summer attendance since like 2022, like back near like the COVID times. And so I think you could see them do more of these type things where they have these kind of quick turnarounds to try and have new things to open in the parks, because I think they're playing for this summer with basically some of those new shows and the Starlight Parade that's premiering, that's coming up very soon. They were hoping that was really going to push crowds in, and along with the discounts, and so far that has not come to fruition. So I think they're looking at this as a way they can have some brand new offerings in the park that are not just these shows and parades to try and, especially with like kids and that younger demographic. They're kind of taking this area, which is already kid centric here anyways, just kind of doubling down into it. And when you talk about Hollywood Studios already, outside of this area of the park, there's not a ton of stuff for kids necessarily, like younger kids. So I think it makes a lot of sense to double down into that in this area as well. So I think it'll probably be pretty cheap to do. I don't know how much stuff they're going to have to change over in what was Launch Bay. But, yeah, I mean, I think given the circumstances for what it is and going back to the roots, I think this is actually a really good move.
Yeah, and Disney Junior Play and Dance will be closing September 25th, along with like Animation Courtyard in general, so Launch Bay as well. Little Mermaid Show, just newly open. It is not going anywhere. It is staying.
Yeah.
Obviously.
That would be weird if it went away. But yeah.
And then Walt Disney Presents, which kind of backs up into that, and the exit is right by Launch Bay is right now. That is staying as well, so like don't have to worry about that. But yeah, so that's exciting. If they're gonna get rid of, put in the Monsters Inc. area, put it in the Muppets area, then I'm glad they're doing something with this, because that was the whole thing. Like, okay, is Monsters Inc., is it going in here? Or is it going in Muppets? Because like there was two different concept arts, and we're like, what? We don't know what's going on. So I feel like this was a good decision.
Well, and I said the whole time, the reason they didn't put Monsters Inc. in this area is because behind Launch Bay, you have a whole bunch of break rooms, just administrative buildings, and they would have had to have torn all those down and rebuilt them somewhere else. So this makes use of that space without going into those areas that are there for like cast members and stuff. So
yeah,
I said all along, I didn't think they were going to put Monsters Inc. here for that reason, but putting this here, it does give them another thing they can tout as an experience. And I actually think, again, this is something I think that will appeal to a lot of, especially kids and families.
Yeah.
And
it harkens back to the Honey, I Shrunk the Kids playground, where it has everything is like bigger because you're shrunk down. So
well, and like I think the play area will be indoors, which
I
is
think so.
I
it
would
should
assume
be.
the concept art looked like it would be, which is great for whenever it's hot, and the kids love a place to run around.
Yeah.
So I think this. I mean, I don't know how much this will cost. Probably not that much money to do that, nor that much time. Mm-hmm. And I always like when Hollywood Studios kind of gets back to its roots a bit, as this park kind of has a park, doesn't really know what it is at this point. Mm-hmm. And I don't know if it really ever had a strong identity, considering how it was built. Eisner built it basically as he had learned about Universal Studios building a park, and he was like, no, we're going to beat them to the punch. And it was very quickly thrown together.
It was a working studio. I mean, they did produce things there.
Right.
I remember when it was the original animation, not experience, but attraction. I can't remember what it was called, but you used to be able to go in there and see actual animators like working.
Yeah.
It was the coolest thing ever. But that was a long time ago. Long time ago. So let's put the animation back into Animation Courtyard.
Well, and I still love when they do that for like the Arts Festival or Festival of the Arts, when they have that over at Animal Kingdom where you sit down and draw with the animators and draw different. I still love doing that. So I think bringing that over here and doing that is that's a good thing.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, I'm all for it. I think that's a smart move. So.
Absolutely.
I think you may see them do some other things very similar to this in other parks though too.
Oh, these quick experiences.
Quick turnaround, because if you look at the things they're building, I mean, Iger himself, which I've been saying this for years, that Disney construction is 5+ years. Hollywood Reporter had an article talking about basically Disney and Universal, like all the money they're spending in the parks and all, basically Orlando theme park dominance and all that. They had a quote by Iger in there where he actually said theme park construction takes about 5 years at least.
Yeesh.
I had never heard anybody from Disney actually ever put an actual timeline on things. So that just reinforces what I've been saying the whole time, which is the things that they're currently building, you're looking 2030 or so before these things are done. Maybe Animal Kingdom gets done a little earlier than, say, Frontierland stuff and what's going on in Hollywood Studios. But these things are going to be under construction for a long time.
Yeah.
And they're going to need things to try and bring people in. And I think they're seeing this summer, what they currently had planned for this summer hasn't worked. See how it looks in toward, going toward the winter. But they're definitely looking for more things to bring in to be able to market to people, to bring them into the parks. And I think this is one that could work. And I think we may see more of these if they're able to have some areas where they could have these quick turnarounds and not just these. I think maybe the lesson they learned is shows and parades are not going to move the needle on attendance. Experiences do, things for people to actually check out and do, but not maybe those. So that may be the lesson they're taking from this. So, because this was very unexpected. Nobody was expecting to hear about this. This kind of came up, which kind of shows you they may be reacting to what they're seeing this summer already and trying to, be a little proactive and do some stuff for the next coming years. So, but yeah, hopefully I think that, and ideally they would like that to be done by next summer, if I were to guess, but they did not put a specific timeline on it. They just said 2026. So,
Yep. They won't even start on it until September. So,
right.
Yep.
So,
It's true.